Greetings, Professor Falcon, and we're back, and this seemingly never-ending embarrassment of riches that is looking at Project Sam's Lumina library. The previous two videos have looked at the stories and the textures in their two variations there. Today we're on to what many will think as the meat and potatoes, I think. We've got the playable instruments, and depending on how long I witter, I might get onto legato as well. If not, that'll be in the next one. I just don't know how long it's going to take me to get through it all. Let's go straight in. These are all, as suggests, playable. There's some that are chords, but most are just straightforward instruments. Nearly all the stories are playable. It's really the textures is the section that's got a lot of pre-baked sort of melody in it. Here's a bell tower to start with. And if that's not big enough for you, see, I can't use those mutes. I think you do. Yeah, that's right. You just mute them. You have to load them with the screen and mute them with the key switches, like I'm doing at the bottom there. If that's not big enough for you, there's some sort of processed, slightly detuned, doubled up. That's probably what would do it. Variation there. Celtic harp. Without any further ado, chords. So here we have they're on dynamics. Downs and ups. So that's all, sounds to me, minor with the CC1 down, major with CC1 up. Get the idea there for little lovely little plucks. And this is the real deal. This is the oops, sorry about that. Might fancy the stage on that. Bit of both. Fancy a bit of both on that. It's nice, that, isn't it? It's a Celtic harp, obviously different. So they've got a concert harp, haven't they, as a separate instrument, which I've definitely got my eye on, and I really must get round to buying one of these days because that sounds great. Not much to say about that. I think if we will look in there, it's still got these advanced pages, so you've still got all the options, even though it's only one instrument in there. And you've got your round robins, octaver. That's what it says on the tin, really, isn't it? MIDI transpose, all that stuff. Chamber. Now, there's two sort of main sizes when it comes to the orchestra. They've got the chamber orchestra and the full orchestra, and all this next section, a chamber orchestra, which I think is used for some more cartoony stuff, really, and also for the string quartets, woodwind quartets, for, you know, your more intimate, what you'd use a chamber orchestra for, I suppose, really. Now, a lot of them are in combos, which is what this is. Bassoon, piano, and harp. What does that sound like? Down here, for one thing, so I'm playing in the wrong place. Pretty nice. I think it's a lot of that sort of slightly tiptoey stuff. Let's just go on the mod wheel. Let me just move this mic. I've moved it in the wrong place. I can't get down to my mod wheel. It must be imagination. Almost sounds like a trem in there, but it's not. It's just the breathiness that makes it sound like that of the bassoon. I'm playing in a cartoony-like style. I can't help it there. Project Sam have always been very good at these combos of putting useful things together that you might not necessarily think of when you're writing, and quickly going, oh, that's a good colour to use, and you have the three things ready to go there. Nice. Cartoon chords. So this is one of those chord patches. And the chord patches, they do work differently. I have to sort of remind myself of how it works each time. And you've got... Actually, we'll explore this time, because you can change how this works. So here we have... Oh, for heaven's sake, I can't hit one note. Have all majors down there. Minors there. Some kind of seventh augmented something there, exposing my appalling lack of formal training. Now, articulation is done on the mod wheel, so... Okay. So that's the mod wheel up. You've got the sort of the pizzicato version. Mod wheel down, you've got that. And the dynamics on velocity. If you want dynamics on something else, that automatically switches us around. Dynamics are now on the mod wheel. And the articulation is varied. Oh, velocity. For my money, velocity up. So, okay, does it do velocity down? So I was going to say, yeah, I prefer it that way. So I'm playing gently. Good fun. Cartoon staccato. I suspect I know what this is going to sound like. I have been through all these, but it was a few days ago. Right, what's going on there? I got a block there at some point. How did I do that? Dynamics on the mod wheel, yeah. And again. And strangely, Now, I'm sure it's me. Now I'm hitting those hard, and I'm getting the longs. I think when I'm very quiet, you get a little... Get a little sort of block in there. Now, what are my options here? Mod wheel, I might prefer... Right, okay, so now we can go through it, because the response on this keyboard is so terrible, and I've got to throw it out any day now. I'm playing this with CC1 right down. So there's three, isn't there? You've got the Glock at the lowest. In the middle, you've got a sort of a staccato. And you've got marcato when it's fully all the way up there. And you can change this to how you want it. They did sound like the odd sort of glitch there to my ears, but maybe that's me and my strange keyboard. Piano and double bass. Oh, right, we've got some noises down here, haven't we? I remember this. Okay. Nice combo. And you've got these little slaps and noises. Quite subtle down there, but you can add some of that in. Again, that's close. You've only got the two mic positions here. Piano, harp, and vibes. Now I'm loving this. I remember this. Some of this stuff at the top, it really reminds me of some sort of John Barry kind of stuff. Loving that. That's definitely going in the template. That's terrific. String quartet. Okay, so another tricksy one with a lot going on. Yikes, what's that? Weird glitch. Did you hear that? So low, okay, low dynamics here. We have trems, playing hard. We have sustains, and they don't loop. You push the mod wheel up and you get a bit of vibrato down, and it's without vibrato. Again, all of those you can change. What, you know, obviously it's never going to rival a comprehensive library, but it's good that you can have it in here, A, for layering, and B, if you want that smaller sound and you're doing that cartoony stuff, you're going to want some of those basics like the trems to match in with it, and now you've got them. And that's with violin, 1 and 2 viola, and cello goes down to C1. Really nice, aren't they? There's a real edge and definition to that size and the close mics there. That's very handy. Not just for cartoons. I like. And a woodwind quartet. Here we are. Alto flute, oboe, clarinet, bassoon. So low dynamics here, sustain, hit them hard, you get staccato, and you can change all that around here. Basic sustains and staccatos. And don't forget, a lot of these individual elements, we've got legato versions, which we're coming on to. They're the, you know, they're the big deal. But if you need a little choir of them, you've got them here. It's nice there, isn't it? Double bass is featured quite a bit. Here we've got it on its own. We have a few different variations here to play with on. Articulation sustain pedal. What's that all about? Right, I've got the sustain pedal down now. You get those slaps. There. What's all this about? Okay. Oops. Good bow. Apologise for noise of my radiator in the background. It's been a cold morning, what can I say? So nice little variations there. That's just using the pitch bend. Looks really well, doesn't it? That's just using the pitch bend. what I want to know is... Right, so that layers them all, and you turn them on and off with key switches. Okay, so if I now mute them all... So it's not the normal way I'd think of working with key switches, just layering on top of each other. It's a toggle to mute. So you can work with them that way, but I think that might be a future idea for a new version that you can choose, whether you work with a conventional key switch that just switches between them, or has the mute variation. And while I'm making unreasonable requests, given that Project Sam has supplied me with this copy very nicely to do this review, I think one other idea that I'd really like is to be able to choose to sort of set the transition point where you've got several articulations on one patch. In the advanced tab, it would be great if you had something here, I don't know where you put it, but something here where you could say, okay, I want the staccato to go up to 90 and then sustain above, or something like that. Elven Choir. Right, we're on to the choirs now, and we have Elven and Lumina options. Elven Choir. Playing hard. They're close. Let's just put them on the stage. Stage, come on in. I just want to see what articulation mod wheel. Oohs and ahs. That's what it is. So, or you can use the sustain pedal again to choose between your oohs and your ahs. That's probably the most logical way to have that, isn't it? How about your Lumina choir then? Oh, wait a minute. Crash dim. So it has a natural swell in it. It was quite subtle, isn't it? But you can massively augment that with the mod wheel. Goes with an and an ah. Let's open that up. That's a pretty nice effect. Goes down here. Very nice. And that's what that crest dim is really subtle. It's slow and it's subtle. That one. But this is the standard. So that's hitting them quietly. We've got an ooh, and I'm riding CC1, hitting them hard. We've got the R. Does that sound like close? Surprisingly quiet. Stage, I prefer the stage. Beautiful. Mid-pizzicato and runs. Right, yeah, I remember this. So we met this on one of the stories, was it? Play gently. Play a little bit harder. That's actually very hard. It's me and I rubbish keyboard again. So just quietly, just that, middle. Get the little grace note. Play it really hard. Dynamics on CC1 there. Why am I playing chords? Don't play chords. Mid, trem and trails. This I'm remembering now. This is an absolute love patch. For your standard issue sustained moments, it's lovely with that harp. I think it's a harp, isn't it? At the front end there. It's just adding an extra little texture built in. And this is all playing softly. So if you play hard, you get your trills rather than trems. There's a lot of variation versus playing hard. Just to get different feels and textures. There's a Glock sometimes too, isn't there? That's going straight into pool room. And 10 points to anyone who knows what that's a reference to. That's a lovely patch. Big fan of your mid trims and trills. This is from Symphobia 1. Basic swords with dynamics on the mod wheel. That's a good little demo for how great Symphobia 1 is as well. Here, mainly included, I suspect, for layering in their patches. But it's nice to see it again in all of its glory. Right, this is major on the left, minor on the right. This is another one where, again, as possible for a future update, it might be nice to make all these chord patches, or you certainly should have the option, I think, of having them playing monophonic. Because when you ever really want to do... I'll take it back, that was quite nice. So you can, you know, convince it to do some interesting variations. Anyway, it's nice to have the option. Pretty nice. And of course here we have the full control options. That's a bigger swell than on that other patch. That's a classic crescendo, diminuendo. And some brass in there. Just hearing how those release trails work. You'd probably get away with that. I would be a bit uncomfortable leaving it exposed in that way. I think it's not perfect. Call me old-fashioned, but I normally revert to using the standard dynamics on mod wheel. Now here we have, there's trims in there. If I play hard, is there still trims in there? Okay, what's our options? Ah, idiot. That's just dynamics, isn't it? So it's a pretty mighty sound. There is that little trem in there. It's quite subtle, but that's it in this patch. It's kind of, there's no with or without the trem. That's what you've got, but it's a mighty old sound. The king has come from 4,000. Yeah, you know, great. Some percussion to finish us off. I'm not going to get to legato. Sorry, I've taken forever again. Is that flexitone? I believe that is, isn't it? Variations of that. There goes the heater again. Yeah. Celesta. We all love good Celesta. Put it on the stage. Too close for me. Put it on the stage. The stage. It's a little theme I used in a show once. Really impressed if anyone spots that. I'm playing gently now. Verses. It's a nice range. Might want to roll that off. Beautiful. Chimes and bell tree. I'm a sucker for the bell tree. It's in everything I do, from dubstep right through to orchestral. Oh yeah, this is cool. So if you hold down a sustain pedal from there, you can actually play the... Isn't that a mark tree? Oh, I was getting mixed up. That's a sustain pedal down, sustain pedal off, does that. We've got some... Oh, but a triangle up there. Unadvertised triangle. Ooh, I'm terribly sorry. I was appalling. Who knew the triangle's in there? I hadn't discovered that. It's the thing, they will surprise you with these things. Cymbals and bass drum. It's that kind of what I think of as a old school bass drum, not the big epic sub killer. But when you were going to war in 1498, you would hear that, wouldn't you? You wouldn't hear it's that kind of thing. Oh, a damp one. Nice. Always useful. No complaints. Staccato recorders. Tenors, alto and sopranos all layered together here. So you kind of get to the end of one range and you start with the next one here. Again, this is here, I suspect, to match in with the legatos. That's true with a lot of these, which I'm out of time for, because I think half an hour is quite enough of any one of these. I mean, well done, if anyone is still listening to this with my fumbling and whishering. But there we go, that's your Playable Instruments, a pretty broad selection. Lumina is not a library that will ever be anyone's first library, I don't think. It's kind of all those bits that you want to fill in that you haven't got elsewhere. It's great for that. And so next time, the legato, where we'll look at the alto, flute, bassoon, clarinet, oboe, 3 recorders, soprano voice, tin whistle and trumpet. Again, not your meat and potatoes, it's your vegetables. All right, bye for now.